Okay, so today we are doing a quick lesson on understanding place value, and we're just starting simple with working with digits in a decimal, so that represents numbers that come to the right of a decimal, and what those values are and how do we identify the value of those numbers. So we're going to start with an easy one. I'm going to do, oops, it's not working. I'm going to do 87 hundredths. So the first thing is understanding with a place value chart what these values are. So if I came over here and make a place value chart, I'm just going to make one for everything that comes after the decimal. So remember, I like to relate it to a parking lot. Every single digit sits in a place. It cannot share a place. And because it's in a certain place, we call that what the value will be no matter what digit's sitting there. So this first one is called the tenths. The next one is called the hundredths. And then it's the thousandths. And we're just going to stop there for now. As I'm following McGraw-Hill, we are in chapter 1. We're just working in chapter 1 up through the thousandths place. So if I have a digit here, so I'm just going to place these numbers in the place value chart. So here's my decimal. The very first digit is an 8, which is sitting in the tenths place. My next digit is a 7, and it's sitting in the hundredths. So because my number is an 87, it's not just 87. So if I wrote it in word form, it's not 87. 87 would look like this. If you want to represent it with the decimal and a 0, or it's just the same thing as 87. That's a way bigger number than 87 hundredths because these digits are coming to the right of that decimal. Now, how do I know how to say 87 hundredths? When you're talking about, or when you're doing word form of a decimal, whatever the last digit falls on, that's the place that you're going to end with. So I said 87 hundredths, so the 7 is the last number in this number. The 7 digit is landing in the hundredths place, so I'm going to write it as 87 hundredths. Careful with that spelling when you're working with any digits to the right of the decimal. Notice we add this TH, TH, TH. So you really want to emphasize hundredths. And I love to emphasize the S at the end. So let's do another one. What if I had, let's do one where I have a decimal and I have 009. So I have this is 0.009, but the proper way to say it is 9 thousandths. Why is it just 9? Well, because it is just a 9. If I wrote it as a whole number, it would just be 9 or 9.0. But that's a different digit. That's a different value. This 9 is sitting in the thousandths place. I have a 0.009. And that 9 is the last digit in this number, and it happens to be sitting in the thousandths place. So if I'm going to write this in word form, I'm going to write it as 9 thousandths. Just like that, 9 thousandths. What if I wanted to change it and I put a 2 and a 0? So now I have a 0.209. Well, how do you read that normally? You would say 209, right? So the only thing that changes when you're writing this in word form is you have to emphasize where that last digit falls. Well, the last digit is a 9, and it's still sitting in the thousandths place. So we're going to say this as 209 thousandths. Oops. Now, remember, if I said it properly, I should say it as if it's a whole number. However, it's to the right of a decimal, 209. So you keep that word form there, 209, but again, because it's to the right of the decimal, you need to emphasize where it's landing. It's landing in the thousandths place, that last digit. So we would write this as 209 thousandths. Okay, Let's do one more where I have a digit other than a 0 here. What if I had decimal 4, 6, 8? Okay, so again, to help you start out, especially if you're just trying to understand how to write the word or write the number in word form and understand its value, we need to first understand how it relates to its place value chart. So I have the decimal, and then I have a 4, a 6, and an 8. Okay. Now, how would you say this normally if you didn't have a decimal? If it was changed to 468, that's how you would write it, that's how you would say it, 468. The only thing that changes, because there's a decimal now in front of it, you need to emphasize where that last digit lands, what place is it? It's 468 thousandths. So I would write 468 thousandths. And there you go. So that's just a short intro of how we identify the word form of a number, because if you can identify what place these are sitting in, then it'll make a lot more sense when we start asking what the value of these digits are. All right, you guys, be sure to check out my other videos for place value.